there's one word that would perfectly describe Roy, it's fiery. Be it in his passion for battle, his flame-imbued sword attacks, or his undoubtedly massive bush, which, by the way, is not an attempt to sexualize a 15-year-old kid, but rather a commentary on the more than likely concerningly infrequent amount of personal grooming being done in the, 11th century. Anyways, point is, Roy is the Flaming Hot Cheeto of Smash Bros.' expansive catalog of fighters, and if you share a similar scorching passion for this character, then I think it's time you wield that binding blade for the good of not only your countrymen, but also your honor as a gamer, and show your opponents what it means to be a Roy main, even if you don't know jack shit about the game and just kinda wanna seem like you do. Now let's get to it. Back in the days of Melee, some may have seen Roy as nothing more than Marth's stubby-armed, red-headed step clone, which, let's be real, is fair. But since his return in Smash 4, he's set himself apart with some pretty unique abilities. Probably the most notable of these would be Roy's Inverse Tipper, which allows him to deal more damage the closer his opponent is to the hilt of his sword. That does, of course, mean that the tip of his sword deals pretty lackluster damage and knockback, but that doesn't mean he's completely hopeless when it comes to zoning out opponents. After all, can you even call yourself a swordsman if you're not constantly operating under the assumption that should your opponent hit your squishy, pudgy body even once, you'll immediately burst open like a piñata filled with a near-grotesque amount of deliciously fuego Flaming Hot Cheetos? Now, first off, Self5, here on this channel we pride ourselves for our spicy-ass callbacks. But secondly, no! Of course not! And speaking of callbacks, to transition to my next point, your opponents won't be able to call back anybody after you're done slicing their asses up with Roy's side special. So this move, Double Edge Dance, is one of the most versatile moves Roy has in his kit. After activating the move, you can input it up, down, or forward midway through the attack to use different sword maneuvers against your opponent. Down input fillets them with a flurry of thrusts that can not only rack up some chip damage, but can also light a fire under your opponent's ass, pun intended, by tearing away at their shield, which is actually a great way to play aggressive and assert your dominance, so if you're looking for some more shield pressury goodness, look no further than neutral attack or down tilt. But anyway, back to that super sword swish and flick side special. The up input swings that sword upward and brings your opponent with it, allowing you to juggle them like you're flambéing a nice juicy cut of bitch ass. And finally, the forward input sends Roy directly for the jugular and slashes straight forward with enough damage and knockback to finish those easy-bake bitches deceptively early. Now, any beginner who wants to look like they're hot shit but doesn't want to actually put in the work knows that the key to looking like a real pro gamer is through, and say it with me folks, simple attack string. So remember, whenever you land one of these, call out the play like you just hit the sickest combo in all of Tony Hawk Pro Skater history and just watch the crowds go crazy. So starting things off, an up throw or the up variant of the side special can lead into a juggling situation with some up aerials. Down throw, on the other hand, is a good setup for a couple follow-up aerials of its own. Forward aerial and neutral aerial are probably your best bets in that regard because they're fast and they have good knockback. And once your opponents are in the market for a good old-fashioned offstage slappening, you can toss their asses off the stage and once again judo chop them with the cold hard steel of a forward aerial, or hit them with a back air, which is yet another quick high knockback fiend of an aerial. Or if you've got the shriveled up 15-year-old balls to go even further, you can leave their head looking like a goddamn steel drum by spiking them with a down aerial, because absolutely nothing feels more like poetic justice than Michael Jordan slam dunking some loser into the 9th circle of hell with a legendary divine fire blade. In terms of getting back on the stage, yeah, good luck. Up special is a bit poopy doo-doo when it comes to vertical recovery, but at least the input can be directed to angle your recovery more vertically or horizontally based on the situation. Now, usually around this time in the match, your hands are getting a bit sore from all the cheeks you've been clapping. And as the left hand flips off your opponent, because who the fuck says that gamers can't multitask, old righty is starting to hover over that B button and wonder just what'll happen if it puts that sucker to use. Well, in this case, as your percentage dips more and more into the red, your opponent will be fishing more and more for those ever so satisfying kill moves. And what better way to respond to such a bold affront to the sanctity of your gamerhood than to use a move that just screams, I'm too lazy to dodge your pathetic excuse for a hard read, but you still deserve to be harmed for your stupidity. Enter Roy's counter. Simply put, during the move's active frames, if Roy gets hit, he retaliates with an attack at 1.35 times power of whatever hit him. And finally, once your opponents have suffered enough of a beatdown for the day, then you can take your 1000-degree knife and burn a hole through those suckers' stalks and through their pride with your finishing attacks. Side smash and down smash for starters, much like the average teenage boy, both start up pretty quick and finish before anyone can even really register just how bafflingly early that was. Alongside that, up smash is a great anti-air attack with some less than impressive horizontal range, and of course, if you're really looking to score some hot gamer ass with your impressive skills, neutral special charges a massive fiery explosion that usually works best by the ledge since it can turn around mid-charge to read a recovery option like you're reading the nutrition facts on a bag of flaming hot goddamn Cheetos. They never expect the third Flaming Hot Cheetos callback. And there you have it, folks. So now that you understand the basics of this flammable sword-wielding boy kid wonder, it's time for you to train hard, troll harder, and remember that after all of this, if you still aren't able to absolutely steamroll your opponent, keep in mind the wise words of Roy himself in his famous proverb, if you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. Also, the Cheeto burns brightest on those who savor its spice. Until next time. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe because I make a new video every single Monday. Also, I did take a month-long hiatus because my laptop broke, so I had to order a new PC. But that just means that the videos are gonna be better. So look forward to that. I'm back for good. It's good to be back. I was so bored. I watched like 300 episodes of One Piece. Anyway, let me know in the comments below or in the Discord, which is probably linked in the comments or in my description, who you want to see next. Thank you to all my patrons. I really appreciate you guys' support. It legitimately does help out the channel. And I think that's about it. So I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.